Welcome to The Bottom Line. I'm Pastor Rick Utze from Maranatha Community Fellowship in Plain City, Ohio. This past week I was following someone on Twitter, Derwin Gray, who's a pastor I follow, and he had a blog that was titled Grab a Towel Rather Than a Title, or Before a Title. And as I thought about that, I was like, he had a lot of good words to speak, and it's like, what is our objective in life? Is our objective to grab a title? You know, as you look at this title that says top dog, I think a lot of us are after title, position, and power. And his point, and the point of the Bible, is that shouldn't be our overwhelming goal in life, is to be after position and titles in this world. But it's to be after what Jesus called us to be, and that is to follow him as our example. And it says in John 13:3-5, it says, Jesus, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands, and that he had come from God and was going back to God, rose from supper, he laid aside his outer garments, and taking a towel, he tied it around his waist. Then he poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet and to wipe them with the towel that was wrapped around him. So Jesus grabbed a towel, even though it says that he had come from God, he was going back to God. It later says he's the teacher and Lord. And he grabbed a towel and considered that more important than a title. And he said that we are to follow his example. And why did Jesus have to wash their feet? Back in those times, they walked along dirt roads, they walked along paths, they had sandals, their feet got dirty, and it was the servant's job to wash the feet of the guests who came into their house. And Jesus sat right there this was right at the Last Supper. He was teaching them and showing them an example of what it means to be a servant. And he grabbed a towel and washed their feet. And they weren't any too thrilled about it. I mean, Peter himself says, hey, Jesus, you shouldn't be doing this. And Jesus went on to say then in verses 12-16, when he had washed their feet and put on his outer garments and resumed his place, he said to them, do you understand what I have done to you? You call me teacher and Lord, and you are right, for so I am. If then your Lord and teacher have washed your feet, you ought also to wash one another's feet. For I have given you an example that you also should do as I have done. Truly, truly, I say to you, his servant is not greater than his master. Jesus is saying, do as I have done. And we need leaders in our culture, in our society, in our businesses, in the churches. I mean, we need structure, we do need control. But the point is, we shouldn't just be going after the title. We should be going after service and being servants. And even if we're leaders, we're servant leaders. We're trying to get the full potential out of those that we are leading. We are showing them what it means to follow Christ, whether it's in business or whether it's at the church. And so we don't want distrust between people. We don't want to see people as competitors or threats. We want to be able to further God's kingdom. And as we are leaders, we should be an example to people what it means to be a leader in God's kingdom. And Jesus also said in Mark 10 that if you want to be great, those who want to be great among you must be your servant. Whoever shall be first among you must be a slave of all, for even the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many. So Jesus himself says, hey, I came to serve. And so the bottom line is this. As we walk through life, let's grab a towel and serve people rather than just being concerned about ourselves and a title with position and power. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time on The Bottom Line.